Imagine a scenario where America has kept its full industrial power at home. It is the early 2000s. The factories are humming, unions are strong, and workers are united. Then a new law appears, the National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA of 2012. Hidden in the fine print, the power to detain U.S. citizens indefinitely, without trial. The truth comes out, and disbelief turns to anger. After the Patriot Act, this new law becomes the breaking point. Strikes erupt from Detroit to Houston. Unions call for action. Highways are blocked. Ports grind to a halt. The National Guard arrives, but soldiers hesitate. Many of them are in the same unions and have family among the protesters. The government didn't expect this. An uprising born from betrayal. Workers remember their power. A revolution not from poverty, but from losing freedom. This is the revolution that never came, and this is Hidden Signal. Presently, in May 2025, the U.S. and China are locked in a brutal power struggle. Tariffs are weapons, 145% on Chinese goods, 125% back on U.S. products. Economic warfare. China is not just cheap gadgets anymore, not just simple production. They're dominating tech, AI chips, rare earth exports. The U.S. blocks China's access to key technologies, but China counters by choking rare earth supplies. Taiwan, military drills, raise tensions. It's more than politics. It's supremacy. The U.S. tries to decouple, but the clock is ticking, and the stakes are higher than ever. But how did we get here? Let's go back to the late 20th century. The U.S. economy is booming, but costs rise. Unions demand higher wages. Businesses need a cheaper way. The answer? China. A vast workforce. State-controlled. Obedient. Factories move overseas, one after another. Cheaper products. Higher profits. Wall Street cheers. But China doesn't stay passive. It learns, innovates, and becomes an economic powerhouse. And it's a communist regime. America thought it was cutting costs, but it was building China's strength. The mistake becomes clear. What was once a business decision turned into creating a global rival. Now the U.S. fights to reduce its reliance on China. Apple boosts iPhone production in India. Dell moves servers to Mexico. Production shifts to India, Mexico, Vietnam, anywhere but China. The goal is clear, weaken China's economic grip, but the challenge remains. China's tech dominance is still a threat. The U.S. tries to balance supply chains, but the new hubs are just forming. Can the U.S. really undo decades of dependence? The answer isn't clear, but the stakes are. Back then, it seemed logical. Move manufacturing to China, cut costs, boost profits, make cheaper products for Americans. But was it all about money? Factories were hubs of power. Imagine thousands of workers, organized, unionized, bound in friendships and trained in workmanship. Moving the factories abroad weakened the union's strength, dismantled collective might, disempowered the American workforce. The population became easier to control. But China didn't just stay a factory, it became a giant. Now the U.S. is scrambling, moving production again to India, Vietnam. But here's the brutal irony. By trying to control its own population, by outsourcing labor, the U.S. ended up creating a new threat, much bigger, stronger, and foreign. And as they empower other countries, aren't they just repeating the same mistake? By trying to crush a revolution that never came, the United States forged the Red Dragon, and now that dragon's too big to tame. This is Hidden Signal.